Hey everybody, I just had a quite fun game in Slay the Spire 2 and just wanted to share how it went. I was trying newly added class and decided to give Doom mechanic a try. For those new to the game, Doom is a status effect that kills enemies at the end of their turn if Doom counter is equal or higher than their current life. Here's a glimpse of deck in action. Now bless me with remove 2 cards from deck option, and since Necro has only 10 starting cards, I thought it may be a good idea to remove 2 strikes to set up for either Osti damage deck or something else along the way. First encounter, and as a reward I got Death's Door. At this point Doom was a strong option, but just after that the shop blessed me with a very nicely scaling Doom card, no escape, so at this point decision was made, Doom was the way. Time to test new toys in action. Doom seems nice with nice on kill animation, Slacks didn't have a chance. And look at that, another very strong looking Doom card to add to the collection. Added countdown to the deck and it feels like I have now quite good offense and defense. Our opponent are 2 heals and I dealt with them quite fast. As a reward, another uncommon Doom card with a huge Doom and weaken effect that reduces damage dealt by enemy by 25%. Time to test it on stronger opponent, but first let's upgrade countdown to be even more powerful. This elite opponent has a special power of limiting damage taken during single round to maximum of 20. Should not be a problem since my win condition is status stacking. We start slow in the first round, taking some damage, but we got countdown online and it's time to spread some doom. Round 3 and enemy already at 40 doom and 72 life. Things are looking quite good. And just like that, with no escape, we almost double doom on enemy. This card is very good win condition, but looks like defensive side of deck is lacking a bit. Something I have to fix in the future. Relic I got is actually not bad in my deck, and I will probably very rarely use attacks when I have doom cards in hand and then focusing on surviving. And so this may come in handy for occasional attack use. Here both of the choices look quite good. I need more block cards, but also having free damage while I'm casting doom on opponents wasn't looking too bad. Decided to go with the power card, mostly because it was uncommon and probably will not see this choice anytime soon. Next opponent are cultists, and this fight shows how potent doom setup can be. As a reward I got Grave Warden, which is just a very nice defensive card that comes with extra draw. Free relic upgrades two of my cards, giving Akabeko relic a bit of extra synergy. Nothing major at all. Then in rest side I opt for upgrading my Grave Warden for weather block, and it's time for another elite fight. This big Ill's power is actually debuff on him. When he drops to 70 life he gets stunned. But sadly, with our current deck, we'll not be able to take advantage of this fact. I really like Death's Door card. Getting 18 block for 1 energy is absolutely insane, especially in early fights. No escape at this point is getting 25 doom for 1 energy compared to Deathbringer's 21 for 2 energy. No escape again with insane value, getting us win on round 6. Pendulum Relic is not a bad pickup here, and as a reward card I get Slay the Flesh presented again. Since it's 2 costs and it seems I rarely have window to even play it so far, I just skip it. Other 2 cards are not direct upgrades, so I decided to not bloat my deck here. That being said, Fear could work in the setup I have. Vulnerable makes enemy takes 25% increased damage, but Doom was working so nice I didn't want to spread too thin here. Was too low life for my liking, so I heal at the rest side and then I get an option to heal again. I take it cause it lets me to go for another elite fight. And look at this, even more ills to kill. Defense still lacking, but we set up a bit for later. A small misplay here with Strike, but nothing that will decide my fate. And here comes Deathbringer in its full glory. Not only it applies a massive doom, but also gives us some damage mitigation with Weaken. Couldn't avoid all damage again, but we are getting rid of 2 ills, so it should get easy now. Toxic X is very nice here, we will still pick up some cards, and having upgraded skill cards will come in handy for sure. Card reward I pick here is Dredge, absolutely insane card in good setup. It also has Retain Tag, meaning it stays in your hand and it's not discarded at the end of your turn. All we need now is some card draw and energy generation and we can do some crazy stuff. I was considering negative pulls here, cause extra block and doom generation is perfect for our deck. In the last Act 1 rest side I upgraded Slay the Flesh to give myself more reason to play it early, cause it felt like I never could find a window to play it for 2 energy. And it's time for a boss fight. Looks like upgraded Slay the Flesh will have its time to shine this fight. Even in boss fight, Deathbringer is a very good value, especially when I have Death's Door in hand. I could have used Dredge here, but since Osti had enough HP to tank, I skip it for now to use Dredge in a better situation. Okay, that was definitely not a good play over here. Should have just played Beacon as the last card instead of pulling it from grave, but excitement of using no escape just clouded my mind over here. As you can see, Deathbringer into Death's Door may be my favorite combo right now in this deck. And the fish is doomed. Sadly, gold card reward wasn't anything exciting, but Neurosurge seemed decent enough. Pelt gives me card draw, something I was lacking so far. Pelt's Wings was also very nice, but felt like I need card draw more at this point, especially since some fights I just didn't have enough block in my hand. At this point I felt like my deck is pretty strong. Did some early fights and I got cards like Shroud, another No Escape Plus and Friendship to get some extra energy. I was lucky in the shop and found Production Plus, card that is extremely synergistic with Dredge. Knowing all of this, the last thing missing was more card draw generation, and with that setup, Oblivion wasn't looking that bad as zero cost card. But since I didn't have Crazy Souls card set up yet, I decided to remove another strike and went for Blight Strike, since it was okay with extra 7 damage relic I have. Centipede is quite challenging opponent, as you have to kill all the segments at the same time or they keep respawning. Let's see if Doom can handle them. Friendship was tempting here, but minimizing damage taken felt just as a better option here. Just had so much stuff here, I was excited to cast it all instead of playing 2 cards to kill Centipede. Sad revealing here is that enemy regenerates before Doom takes place, so got 1 segment regen before it was over. Luckily, Sleight of Flesh power deals 30 points of damage each time I put status on enemy. Otherwise, this fight could not be so pretty. I grab another gold card as a reward here. Seems like a very good power, and upgrade make it only cost 2 energy. Since I had Rest Sight as an extra room, this is exactly what I did. And it's time for a B-Man. His power can be tricky for multi-hitting decks, as each time he gets hits, he puts Dazed status card into your deck, which basically is just filling your deck with useless cards. Since Doom is our weapon of choice, we should not be bothered by it too much. We have some Doom going on and block most of damage this turn. Dredge doing God's work here. Being able to pull no escape and death's door is very strong, and combo with production plus is just a chef's kiss. And again, huge value from no escape, just ramping Doom on our enemy to finish this fight. Luck on my side again, getting extra card draw is always nice. Having that extra energy card like Wisp is also a welcome sight. Next I upgrade another no escape and it's time for another elite. One thing to remember about this enemy is that first time you deal damage to him you gain 1 energy, so make sure to use damaging cards for free. Dredge again combining with Production Plus, allowing me to play all my cards. I set up for future rounds using strike for free and then just mitigating some damage. Started to get low here, things are looking rough. Since enemy has shield, I will not get energy back with my attack card use, and I should have used other focus, it has retained tag, but mistakes happen it seems. Soul's giving me insane deck cycling, allowing to find nice cards to play. Captain's Wheel is a nice defense on round 3, so that could be round where we can use some setup cards for free. Sadly nothing good in reward, I was thinking about Rip Plus for a while, it's a nice card with retain tag, but since I can cycle through my deck a bit now, I don't want to keep extra cards in my hand for no reason, so time to skip. In event room I pick up Extermination card. Second event was a fight which had a good reward, then I heal myself in the rest side and it's time for Act 2 boss. At this point, Deathbringer into Death's Door is becoming a staple play. Then I'm going a bit YOLO and using Nervous Surge to get extra cards and energy. To remind you, each turn I will now get 3 Doom on myself, so it may be an easy way to end this run. Just wanted to get Countdown online early. The power of souls. I got production with Dredge and there are some juicy cards in my discard pile already. With that combo and extra whiz, we secure the fence and play all the cards. Things are looking good. One claw going down, time to focus on another one. Enemy had so much armor it didn't matter if I play cards in the correct order. Time to end this. Misery was looking quite nice here, so that was my choice for a card reward. We got fully healed and time to choose from Vacuous Offer. Nothing insane here for me, so I go with Choices Paradox. At this point, deck is practically finished, but that doesn't mean we can't improve a bit. In shop I get my hands on Candelabra Relic, gaining some extra energy on round 2, and then I remove one defend card from deck, as it is just a fodder at this point. Then another shroud should be nice, and having 0 cost deal 11 damage to all enemies that is always in your starting hand is not a bad buy. In next fight I get Grave Warden Plus and it's time for another elite fight. Hunt is actually a very nice power on Necrobinder. You will probably find yourself going for Souls Generation cards anyway, so don't sleep on it when you find it as an option to pick. Candelabra giving some extra energy is very nice here, lets me set up cards for later. Round 3 and enemy is almost on his death's door. Could have killed him with potion here, but I was confident that deck can handle whatever this evil eye will throw at me. I grab Negative Pulse Plus as a reward and then upgrade Shroud and Deathbringer at Resting Sight. Another card I got was Capture Spirit Plus, and it was time for another elite fight. Here is where I can try Oblivion, sadly without much effect so far. As you can see, deck cycling and energy generation is very satisfying. I have to free up my hand so I can get some cards with Dredge. It's time to give Oblivion another try. Not that bad considering I have 4 card slots blocked by Bird. Another negative Pulse Plus. And surprising shopping action. Looks like I can get some weaker versions of some common artifacts. I just heal at the rest side to be sure we can take some damage, and it's time for the final boss, the Doorkeeper. I get Hunt again as a random reward, not too bad. Never search for the win, and we play rest of the cards in hand. This boss has interesting mechanic. What you can see right now is just closed portal. Once I bring it down, the real boss will show up for few turns and disappear again. And there he is. Let's see if I can bring him down first try. Dredge with production always feels nice. At this point it kinda feels like this is more of a Souls deck than Doom deck. Okay, looks like he's trying to get away. Time to bring in a heavy artillery. He's almost there. Perfect. And again, big disappointment. He runs away just before my doom triggers. Shouldn't take long now. I clicked too fast, not realizing that boss will show up the same round I killed Portal. But it didn't matter anyway, as he got just doomed away. And that's the run. Pretty fun deck, and Doom with those cards I got this run was actually pretty decent. Here's the summary and seed of my run. Hope you guys enjoy this style of videos. If you have any feedback, feel free to write in the comments. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.